What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And yes, I did see Stephen A. Smith on the, not the first take, but I did listen to his radio show. People sent me the clip and was like, man, did you see him and Ayesha Curry get into it? And, well, let's listen to Stephen A. because he does sometimes come off as an elitist. But before we go into all this, I want to say what's up to the Moorbachers out there in Aurora. Chris and E, what's up? And I also want to say, Cleveland has always been a racist city. To the residents of Cleveland, to the brothers that live in Cleveland, they already know it's no difference than where I'm at. People's like, man, what about Chicago? Chicago is one of the most racist, segregated cities in the United States of America, period. And Cleveland is another one. Cleveland's terrible. And what you saw the other night, well, last night, and what you heard about what had happened last night, I had just stated in my previous videos, they don't deserve the NBA champ. They don't deserve a championship. Because the city is so racist, they don't deserve it. That's what I said. I said I predicted they would win in 7 games, but I don't think they deserve a championship because of the city. City is racist. So I didn't want them to win, just for that reason alone. Now, this situation with Ayesha Curry happened last night. And now people are coming out of the woodwork with a Cleveland story. So, I didn't want to be one of those people. I have to go back and remind people because they have very short memories. Now, Stephen A. Smith does come off like an elitist, but I do agree with what he said about Ayesha Curry. And if this ever gets played for Ayesha Curry, you have to understand something. Even though you don't want to be quiet, this is not about you. This is about your husband and his team on the court. And though you may feel you were right and you were coming from the heart, and you did apologize, it's social media. And you already know how that goes. But let's listen to Stephen A. Smith from the radio show today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say something. You are listening to a man right now that was raised by 5 women.
Here we go again.
A mother and 4 older sisters.
Explains a lot.
I'm a father with 2 daughters. I've got 8 nieces. Of my 100+ living relatives, 90% of them are female.
Explains a lot.
I bring all of that up is because, as if to say, I know how to touch on subjects involving females.
That you got suspended.
Regardless of what the public wants you to believe.
You got suspended for touching the subject in front of.
This morning, I had to respond to a tweet because I was asked about Ayesha Curry, the wife of the reigning 2-time league MVP Steph Curry, about her behavior last night. And I was on the record saying that she was wrong and that it's not classy to be calling out the league and accusing the league of being rigged. Those are very incendiary comments for the wife of the reigning 2-time league MVP to make. And I also pointed out how we praise this entire family with nothing but love and adulation, and I'm in no way saying they don't deserve it. I've admired Del Curry for many, many years, Steph Curry's father. His mother is drop dead gorgeous, and she's a good person. It appears so. And Steph Curry, can you be more classy than him? And his wife seems to be a wonderful, wonderful person. I think I'm accurate in pointing out that had that been Savannah James, LeBron's wife, might have been a problem. Folks might have said more about it. And while we sit up here and we praise LeBron James, or we vilify him at times, does anybody take a moment to realize how incredibly classy his wife is? And how she always conducts herself with him in mind. She's his wife. She's an extension of him. Whatever she does reflects upon him. And I made the point of highlighting that. That's something that Ayesha Curry might need to think about. Because, intentionally or not, when she does something, we're going to look at her husband. Because that's his wife. She took offense to that. She went on Twitter. She accused me of being the one that's out of pocket, not her. And I felt the need to revisit the conversation by telling her on First Take, I have nothing but the greatest respect for you as a young lady. I wish you nothing but the best. But you're on Twitter a lot. And as a result, that might unwittingly, unintentionally put more pressure and bring more duress to the life of the very husband you're trying to protect. Her heart was in the right place. She wasn't malicious in any way. But it's not just about intent, it's about perspective. And as the wife, you are an extension of your husband, thereby obligated to look out for him, in my opinion. And that's not doing that. If you feel the need to voice your concerns about getting into the arena, about your father-in-law or your father being harassed, and then about the games being rigged, she made a whole lot of news last night in Cleveland, Ohio. So in one breath you're talking about police officers harassing your father, in another breath you're talking about arena security and them blocking you in as a ploy, as some kind of tactic, and then after the game you said it's rigged and called out the league. That's 3 shots in one night.
And that's where we are with it. You know, she did make a lot of noise. But like I said, when you feel like you've been treated unfairly and something like this happens, as a black person, you get enraged about what happened. You know, she wasn't making this stuff up. That's the thing. But I understand what Stephen A. Smith is trying to say. Ayesha Curry is young. Steph Curry, they are young. Okay, they are young relationship couple. They're not like Savannah and LeBron. They're in the 30s now. You know, they're in that era where they've been married or together for like 12 years. So she understands her role as the wife of an NBA player, where Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry is trying to have a normal relationship, you know, young married couple's life, and the NBA is just our job. That's just the job he goes to. It's not like that when he's the reigning 2-time most valuable player of the entire league. There's like 450 players, and your husband has been rated the best out of all 450 players for the 2nd year in a row, and then now you discredit the entire league by saying it's rigged. That's cool for me to say. That's cool for all the fans to say. But it's not cool for the wife of the reigning MVP, 2-time MVP, to say that. Because now it's damaging to him. And he didn't know about any of this. Steph Curry didn't know any of this took place till after he did his interviews. The NBA and the league wouldn't let him know what was going on. He didn't get to talk to his wife until after he done his NBA interviews. They rushed him from, like, once he got dressed, okay, we got to get you right into these interviews. Because once he talked to his wife, then he found out everything that happened that night. And everything that happened then and there. And for Ayesha Curry, you have got to get a PR person. You should not be on Twitter like that. Going back and forth with fans and talking with other people. Don't you know that stuff snowballs? There's no way out. There's no tweet that's going to get you out of anything. You put a message up, put a statement. I apologize for the things I did yesterday, blah, 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 blah. It's done. You call the Associated Press, get it together, put a statement out. Your PR team would handle that. That's exactly what you need, because you do not need to be tweeting yourself. You have to understand, you are, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, a NBA wife. You don't know how bad your statements could even affect your future gigs. Things that you want to do. Oh, that cooking show? Yeah. Oh, you finna do a show on Oprah? That's what you thought? Because you're not dealing with, like, the NBA. You're dealing with Walt Disney. You're dealing with Disney. Disney run everything now. It ain't about the cartoon mouse no more. They run it all. So you have to be a little bit more careful in the position that you're in. And that's all I got to say about that.